How to make flying YouTube videos on a budget? Yeah, I said budget and flying in the same sentence, but stick with me. I've been able to publish multiple YouTube videos with 2 cameras and a minimum number of accessories. There's one key decision and one key trick to make this work for you on a budget. The key decision: what kind of shots do you want to shoot? Do you want scenery videos, airplane action shots? Maybe you want to record your own training or that of your students. In that case, you want to see the panel, the windshield, maybe the controls, as well as some of the shots of your landings. Hey, selfie views can come later. That's your initial key decision, and it may evolve, but it drives your initial equipment purchases. Now, here's the key trick. Choose cameras and equipment that are not the latest, cutting-edge, just released versions, but rather models that are fairly recent and still capable of providing the content that you want to record. Consider 1 or 2 product versions prior to the latest version. What you give up in the latest cool features is more than made up in the money you're going to save. Here's my suggestions to get started on a budget based on my research and the experience so far. I've included links to many of these items I use in the video description. Besides the hardware, you're going to need software to make the videos. Good news, all the software that I'm recommending in this video is free. So watch at the end of the video for my software recommendations. So the hardware. For external shots of scenery and airplane action sequences, I use an Insta360 X4 action cam. It has an 8K maximum resolution and it's light, compact, and somewhat streamlined. It uses a pair of opposing wide-angle lenses to provide an amazing spherical field of view. With the editing software options available, including its own phone app, you can select and create the views you want from this spherical world. This exterior focus camera also provides sound, but in this context it's mostly airplane noises and the sound of the plane taxiing and flying through the air. That may be all you want if you're interested in shooting scenery. You can also mix in a voiceover track when you edit the video to provide more context. Note I said this is the X4 version. Be aware that Insta360 is now up to the X6 model as of the time of this video. But for my budget approach, I found that the X4 model has the features and resolution I wanted at a significant savings over the latest version. As far as mounting, there are many mounting options available for your cameras. For my Grumman Traveler, a low-wing fixed-gear plane, I have the Insta360 camera mounted at the wingtip. I've used 2 options: a tie-down ring mount that is attached and removed very easily with really no tools, and I've also used a wingtip attachment screw mount. This one screws directly into one of the screws that holds on your wingtip. I understand that any mount that is attached to the plane with a tool, such as using the wingtip screw position, will need an A&P sign-off. If you have a plane with struts, just do your research and get a budget option that holds the camera securely onto your plane. If your priority is training, procedure practice, talking to ATC, or other activities that involve the cockpit and audio systems, I recommend a single-lens, wide-angle action camera. My recommendation at this time is a DJI Osmo Action 4 camera. This has a 4K maximum resolution and again is a very small and compact camera. Wait a second, why not use one of those GoPro cameras you probably see in every other YouTube video? The DJI cameras are significantly more affordable than comparable GoPro cameras, based on my research. The features of the DJI Osmo Action 4 are more than enough to meet my flying video needs while doing it on a budget. This camera also can record cockpit audio using a cable that plugs into the plane's audio system through the headset jack. For filming, I mount the DJI Action 4 camera in my cabin using an adhesive pad stuck to the overhead panel in the canopy. This positions the camera upside down, but it automatically knows the proper orientation, so the image is right side up. The audio cable comes from N-Flight Cam, a fairly well-known supplier of video and audio equipment for using with flying videos.
Clear 764, your readback was stepped on, maintain at 6,000.
If there is one real limitation to my budget system, it's the battery duration of the cameras. At the maximum resolution of 8K for the Insta360, I get slightly more than 1 hour recording time. At the maximum resolution for the DJI Osmo 4 camera, 4K, I get about an hour and a half of recording time. So what to do? Well, my priority is, and yours should be the pilot, and don't get too distracted about trying to be a cameraman. Fortunately, these cameras eliminate the need to worry about things like focus, field of view, composition, exposure, and other such technical subjects. You can deal with those in editing. But you still have to turn the cameras on and off, and you also have to activate the recording function. My simple and budget solution for the recording function is to use little Bluetooth remote control buttons. I strap these to the yoke and use the buttons to trigger the record function. You turn the cameras on prior to engine startup. Then I turn on each of the remote control buttons on the yoke so that they can link up with the cameras via Bluetooth. To record, press the remote control button and the camera starts recording. Here's a safety suggestion. Don't try to turn the cameras on and off repeatedly during the flight to try to catch scenes. Just leave them on for long periods, or at most maybe 2 or 3 long phases of your flight. Recognize that you can edit the specific scenes or views later at your computer with the plane safely put away and your entire focus on editing. Congratulations, you've captured some video and audio files in your cameras. Now what do? As I mentioned before, both Insta360 and DJI Osmo have free apps on the Android device platform. These apps allow you to control the camera via wireless connection, view stored files, and do some very basic editing and sharing of the videos. While these apps give you some quick and dirty capability, I found that to even get the basic video editing that you need for YouTube, I needed some additional capability. And with 2 cameras, it became necessary to mix the audio and video feeds from both cameras and then to synchronize the timing of the shots. I also wanted to provide some basic ability to add things like titles and voiceovers. So I researched and tried and settled on 2 primary Windows-based programs. If you have the Apple system, there are probably similar versions for that platform. The good news is that these programs are free, and while one of them has a more powerful paid version, I've not found the need to upgrade. For editing of the Insta360 files, I use Insta360 Studio. Again, it's free and seems to be updated regularly. With that program, you can easily view the full coverage of your spherical camera lens and then select the angles, the zoom, distance, distortion correction, and basic editing corrections that you need, as well as cutting specific scenes from the raw video. Then you export the edited video as a high-resolution MP4 file into your other editing program to build into your YouTube video. That brings me to my primary editing program I use, DaVinci Resolve. I use the free version. Even that version is full of features that I'm still discovering. Unless you're doing theatrical productions such as feature films, you should be fine with the free version. But be aware this version can still be kind of daunting. I suggest you start by watching a couple of the DaVinci Resolve beginner and basic videos that are available on YouTube. Based on my experience as a 70-year-old dude with limited tech skills, you can learn enough and become proficient enough to make a pretty good videos using DaVinci Resolve. You mix the videos, mix the audio tracks, add titles, add still shots, add logos. Hey, have fun. Maybe do some basic sound and color correction if the raw material looks a little off to you. Then you export your edited video as an MP4 file and it's ready to be uploaded to YouTube. That's the finish line. Once you've created your potentially viral video sensation, upload it to your YouTube account. Publishing your video is a whole other topic, and I recommend you watch the many YouTube videos on the topic on YouTube. I have 3 more final budget suggestions. For good voiceover quality, I suggest you consider an inexpensive wireless microphone that will connect to your phone to capture the audio file. You can easily mix that audio in using DaVinci Resolve. To capture the audio on my Android phone, I use a free app called simply Voice Recorder. It easily captures the files and uses a simple waveform graphic so you can see that it's recording your voice. Second, do you want a YouTube identity? I wanted some logos for my Grumman guy in Texas YouTube account to use my videos and maybe down the road some future merch. I used a free AI app called Grok and uploaded a picture of my plane and asked Grok to give me some Texas flair to create some logo options. Hey, try it. It's fun and the results are pretty amazing. Finally, if you want to add any additional visual or audio content, such as music snippets or sound effects, you need to download royalty-free, aka budget, content. I'm using a free source for this on the internet called pixabay.com. They have all kinds of royalty-free images, music, and sounds. I hope you find this video helpful and maybe an inspiration to start making your own flying videos on a budget. Hey, thanks for watching.